Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com. Cindy Grossman. New York City born and raised, luxury retail management was her game. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom were her jewelry playgrounds. Had enough at 38, fled to Miami, where Neiman Marcus Bal Harbour found her. Recruited to Mont Blanc, where her regional position challenged her. Met her husband 4 years ago, and Brevard County she did go. COVID hit, she needed a new career fit. Age-defying beauty with Mary Kay, she did say. And now, here's Cindy Grossman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Mesmerize the Mirror at Any Age. And of course, we're here with Mitch. Thanks for being here, Mitch. And
Thank you.
Jesse, our wonderful engineer. And before we get to our special guest, I just want to say, you know, I know all of us out there always dream of telling our story. I know I do. I mean, I made a big switch from coming from a New York City lifestyle to living in Brevard County. So it was a drastic change, but it was a good change. But we all have a story. And lately I have been meeting the women who have decided to put pen to paper and decided to write stories about their past, maybe make some of it up. But I was thrilled because I belong to a group with Women's Prosperity Network, and we were in a really specialized group called Momentum, and I was lucky enough to have met Peggy Lee Hanson. Now, she is our wonderful guest today, and I must say, I'm going to read a little bit about her. Peggy Lee Hanson is an international best-selling author, publisher, and speaker with over 30 years' experience in all aspects of writing and publishing, including the business of ghostwriting. Her vast knowledge and expertise are an often asked for resource. She's written and published 40-plus books and 50-plus authors. Peggy Lee is the CEO of Courageous Women Publications, a one-stop shop for all your writing and self-publishing needs. Peggy Lee not only makes your dream book come true, she also makes your tell-all easy to tell all. Why should you share your story? Peggy Lee believes someone is waiting to hear what you have to say. Originally from Wisconsin, Peggy Lee lives in Colony, New York, a suburb of Albany, with her husband of 40-plus years, and loves hanging out with her grandkids. Thank you so much, Peggy Lee, for being here. I'm excited, truly excited to talk to you about this because honestly, I'm not saying that I want to write my story, but I do want to tell my story. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So I'm excited to have you here. So one of my first questions is, how did you process going from unemployed to becoming an entrepreneur?
Well, first of all, hi, Cindy. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. What an opportunity. And I'm so excited to be here and to speak with your audience. How did I transition the process and go from unemployed to entrepreneur? That was a big step because I was in corporate for 21 years, and I worked with Northwest Airlines when they merged with Delta Airlines. And when finding out that I was no longer needed for my services, it was one of the best days of my life. I felt so free of just being, not waiting for that pendulum to come, and get closer, to my heart. And it was just something that you have to prepare for, I guess, and I guess really I started to prepare for it probably about 10 years earlier. And it was through other things that happened in my life where it was a death of my mother-in-law, trying to deal with that grief, learning more about myself. And so it was a lot of inner work that helped me to go from that being unemployed to figuring out the next step, whatever that was going to be. And it ended up being an entrepreneur. But I knew right away after I had received the notice that I was not going to be continuing on with the company, that all I wanted to do was write. I wanted to write a book. I didn't know exactly what that wanted or what that was going to look like. But I just did it. I found somebody, who could help me just write it, and I did. And that first-time book, and it got me on stage in front of 120 people to talk about how easy the process was.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how I became the entrepreneur and how it went from, it really was easy for me.
That's great. And then how did that become the coaching position?
That's a story in itself, because researching, because I knew that I had time, to take. I gave myself a year to try to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And I knew the writing was something in it, but while I was in the corporate world, I was part of a union, association, and I was like the vice president of the association. And I found that when I looked at what I could bring to the table and bring to the outside world, I was really good at talking with people and helping them through whatever problems, issues that they were bringing, whether it was personal or, work related. And so when I took stock of what I could do and liked to do and knew that I could do well, being a coach was one of them. And that's how I decided on becoming a coach.
Excellent. That's certainly a great reason. Now, did you always write? Did you used to write stories as a young adult? How did you, when did you really start writing?
I probably started writing, I kept a diary from a very young age. And, and it was like, you're little, you're young, and you get your first diary. It's like, I did this today. I rode my bike today. I played with a neighbor kid today. It wasn't very, very much of anything. But then when getting into, older and getting to like boys as I did, I remember writing a song about this guy. And so I just kind of plugged it out on the guitar, which I don't play well, but I played it enough, to figure out a song. And so I thought, well, that's kind of fun. And then I started to write a little bit more in poetic form. Mm. And so my writing kind of took off for that. And I also remember writing a short little novel that was probably R-rated, X-rated at the time.
Okay. Wow.
And so after that, it's just, the writing really kind of came natural to me and fun.
That's great. But now all the years in corporate with the airlines, did you have time to write? Did you take the time to write?
I did write, not necessarily for myself personally and others, but it was when I first got into the first division of Northwest Airlines. I was in the credits division, and they decided to start up a monthly newsletter for the department. We were a division of like 100 people. And a couple months into it, I was designated as the editor of the newspaper, of the newsletter. And so I got to have fun on my job, putting together little articles, finding puzzles, word puzzles, cryptograms, anything that would be fun and informative for our newsletter. So, and I thought, oh, wow, this is really great. And then after being in that position for probably about another year and a half to almost 2 years, I opted in to take a job in the publications department, where we handled technical manuals, policy and procedure manuals, and the like for the airline.
Okay. Now it's all coming together here. Absolutely. How was your experience writing and publishing your first book? I don't think enough people know what the publishing side of it is. And I'm not even so sure they know about the writing side. People think, okay, you start writing, you kind of type it up. You know, you always see those movies where they're typing it up on those old-fashioned typewriters, and then they present it to a publisher. But give us the real story.
Yeah, the real story. You know, if you can be lucky enough to find a book coach, a writing mentor that can take you through a template to help you create your story, to flesh it out, then you have found gold. And that's what I have found. My writing mentor did that for me, and she taught me how to self-publish the book. And from that point on, that's kind of like how I get to publishing other people. Because I said, you did what? You're on Amazon? You published a Kindle book? How did you do that?
People are amazed. Just want to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Peggy Lee Hansen. We're all going to write our stories.
Why hire Cantwell & Goldman? At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we take pride in what we do. That pride translates into better client service and better client results. At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we provide high-quality legal solutions for individuals and businesses in Indian River and Brevard counties and throughout the state of Florida. Our experienced attorneys can help you with a range of legal issues, from defending a criminal charge, assistance with a commercial or residential closing, business transaction, or estate planning and probate matters. We are a full-service law firm specializing in estate planning, including trust and estates, as well as commercial and residential real estate and corporate matters throughout the state of Florida. Cantwell & Goldman, PA.
If you want a home that has the style of the coast, come to Sunshine Furniture during the Tommy Bahama and Lexington half-price spring home event. Now until February 28th, you save 50% on all bedroom, dining room, media, office, and occasional furniture with fresh finishes and rich textures made from materials that reflect the essence of coastal living. At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is also filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture from Universal, Hooker, Riverside, Four Seasons, and Capri. We are the outdoor furniture experts and have the largest selection of patio furniture anywhere. Visit Sunshine Furniture now during the Tommy Bahama and Lexington half-price spring home event. All pictures, lamps, and accessories are 50% off. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com. Also, don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store just across the street.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com. It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Need an enlightening pick-me-up? Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinnergy, 599 Sherwood Avenue, Unit 110 in Satellite Beach, to energize your skin and keep it looking fabulous forever. Kristen can help with hair removal sugaring to keep your whole body smooth and conditioned. Kristen will help you refresh and defend your skin while giving you a customized facial. Cindy helps Skinnergize and get you camera ready for your everyday look or occasions event. Visit Kristen and Cindy at Skinnergy at 599 Sherwood Avenue, Unit 110 in Satellite Beach.
And And we're back with Peggy Lee Hansen. We're all going to write our stories, and she's going to help us. So we were just in the middle of the fact that you wrote and you published your, one of your books. Now, you said that it was on Amazon with Kindle. How does that whole process happen, Peggy Lee?
Well, well, you write your book and you get it published on the Amazon and then Kindle. And so it sounds technical, and for some it is way too technical, and for others it can be easy. And I make it easy, because if you need help writing the book, I help you with the writing of the book. If you need help with the publishing, I can help get you on Amazon. And what I do for publishing is that I make the book self-published by you. I'm a publisher, but I'm basically a self-publisher that helps entrepreneurs so that they get to keep their royalties, they get to keep their manuscript, they have all 100% of their rights. So basically, you write the book, or I write the book, help you write it. We take the documentation and we upload it into the back end of Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing, and Amazon does the rest, and they make it pretty and at least for the Kindle part, but there's still formatting and things that I do to make the books look nice, and they do the publishing piece, in the background, and make it available for purchase then.
I'm familiar with the process. One of an intern that we had at my firm, his mother is a fairly well-known author in the romance field, and she used to go through a publishing company. However, within the last few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, she found it more efficient and more profitable for her to go through this self-publishing process that you're describing. For royalties, she gets to have more control over her product. So it seems this is a route that more and more people are utilizing.
Sounds great.
Yes, they are. And from what I understand through some circles is that traditional publishers and literary agents these days will not necessarily want you, but they want to see what you do for what you have done for your marketing of your own book first before that they take you on as a client of theirs. Now, it's not with everybody, but that's with some of them. So if you can show that you have a following, you have people buying your books, buying your programs, especially if it's nonfiction, if you're teaching a strategy, a process, something based on a workshop that you do or something, they want to see that you are actually making progress before they pick you up. And that's what I do is what I call I'm a fee for service. I charge a fee for doing all the publishing and editing and layout and formatting and things and cover creation. And then everything is yours after that.
I'm sorry. Is there a particular type of novel, or is there a particular type of genre that you enjoy writing about more than others, especially for as a ghostwriter?
As a ghostwriter, I enjoy the business piece of it. So if you have a crime novel that you want to write, I am not a good person for that. I have a friend who does novel writing, and she had me review her scripts several years ago, thinking that I could be able to edit it. I found I was too much stuck into the story and enjoyed it to be editor. So those I don't do. I have someone else that does that.
Okay.
And but for me, it's the business type of book.
Right. Okay. But you can certainly lead us in the right path if we have a fun kind of story to tell about our lives or made up lives, I should say, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I have published a children's book for someone too, so that was kind of fun for me. So those I can do.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Tell us about your favorite client success story.
Oh, I have a couple of those.
Okay.
I think the best success of a client is that a woman came to me. She was introduced to me from another person who I did her book, published her book, and she was a speaker, but she wasn't getting the engagements that she wanted to, and therefore the projects weren't coming in. When we published her book, she had book signings that she had, back in the days, when we could easily have them.
Mm-hmm.
And that year, she ended up with 45 speaking engagements.
Wow.
From having that book in her hand, and that she could have, show people that this is what she did.
That's great.
So that was the best thing for her to do, was to get that book. She had it written for a couple of years, and she was just sitting on it until her friend told her about me, and we got it done, and she had a smashing year.
Wow.
After we had gotten it published.
That's certainly successful. That sounds great. Now, what is the process? So somebody says, okay, I have a story to tell. What is the process? They get in touch with you, and how does that go from there?
Yeah, they get in touch with me. We have a discussion. Actually, the person that wants to write the book does most of the talking, and I listen.
Okay.
And because they have their vision and they have an idea of what they want to do, where they want to go, and if they don't, I help them walk through that. And because it's important to know what you want to do with your book. Now, I've had a couple of people that shared their stories in a compilation book that I create too, called Courage Under Siege, and they didn't want to do anything else with it. They just wanted to tell the story, just to get it out there. It was their, I don't want to say confession, but it was their way of just releasing what they needed to let go of, and they were fine with that. They didn't have any other reason to do that other than just, let's tell the story, get it out there. I don't care if anybody reads it. Right. It's out there and it's done. It's out into the universe, and let that take it over. So, and then, then we just figure out the next steps. Okay. And what's going to work. If it can be just a Kindle book on Amazon, or if you want a Kindle and, a paperback to go along with it, then we talk about that. Okay. If there's marketing that you want to do, and have, we talk about that. So we go from idea and concept to publishing, plus a little bit of the marketing piece as well.
Cindy has grand plans about a Netflix miniseries, but maybe we'll talk about that another time.
Hey, I'm calling Peggy Lee. We have to start somewhere, that's for sure. Now, Peggy Lee, where can people reach you, and what's the best way they can reach you? Because I really feel we all have a story to tell. It's just, maybe that initial contact with you and that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. The best place to contact me with right now would be on LinkedIn. I am Peggy Lee Hansen all over the place. LinkedIn is the best place. I do have PeggyLee Hanson.com website. That is also a place that you can. But let's get together on LinkedIn, and you can see everything, that I've done, and, it's a little bit more robust place. And then you can connect, and then we can actually have a conversation.
Sounds great. Okay, so everybody, LinkedIn. So if you're not familiar with LinkedIn, you can set it up, and you can look for Peggy Lee Hansen. She will make your dreams come true through your story. Thank you so much, Peggy Lee, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Exciting. Thanks.